Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. I've got a shipment that just came in. I'm really excited to unwrap it today on the channel. And what we have here is a bunch of Motu stuff that I've been waiting to get my hands on for quite some time now. And today's that day. So thanks for joining me for the video. Let's get down to getting these out and talking about them. First up, I finally got the point, guys. That's right. Point! Dread and the Talent Fighter. This is a long awaited set. This thing's been out for like, I don't know, maybe like half a year now already. I remember talking about the images here on the channel sometime in like April, was it March? Yeah, it's been out for quite some time, but it's just only now made it down to Malaysia. So one of the hobby stores here that usually brings in the Motu stuff, and that would be Gila Poster KL, one of the more prominent hobby stores here in Malaysia. I've shared them on my socials several times before as well. Thanks to them, they were able to bring in this set and absorb most of the shipping costs that were associated with it, because this thing never made it to retail. Okay, I don't think that this thing turned up at retail anywhere in the world. I mean, I'm not really sure. You know, it's turned up at some hobby stores everywhere. It's mainly been available online, I think, for most countries. You know, most countries had to just order this thing in. But yeah, I mean, getting it through a local hobby store is really the best way to get it, especially since Mattel seems to have dropped this whole line entirely at retail. And just getting this thing in your hands is just such an amazing feeling. This whole thing just looks so massive. It's gargantuan. It's like you've got this thing unassembled. It's not even out of the box yet, but just by looking at the size of this box, you just know that this thing is going to be huge, right? And I know I mentioned before that I'm not really a fan of Point Dread or the Talent Fighter. I did a video on this. I called it something like, you know, a bloated bird on a bunch of bricks. You know, just a big ass bird sitting on a bunch of bricks, and it doesn't really do much. Okay, it doesn't fire anything. You know, it just transports people from to and fro. But at the same time, I am a completist. You know, you guys know that, right? So I need this thing to complete my Origins collection of updates based off the vintage characters, right? So definitely it's a must get. And one thing that surprised me were these additional images and instructions that are on the top section of the box here, which were previously hidden from view, I guess, because when the images, the official images for this box set came up online, from Mattel a couple of months back, you know, before the thing was even released, they only showed us the front and the back. They didn't show this top section of the box here. Okay, this part was just hidden. And I was wondering, how come such an important piece of information such as the Point Dread and Talent Fighter being able to attach to Castle Grayskull, how come that wasn't mentioned anywhere on the box itself? But turns out it was right here, okay, just hidden right here on the top, along with a bunch of other images here, a kid handling the Talent Fighter as well. So they really packed this whole box, okay, with tons of graphics, images, visuals, text information all over the place, all right? But I can't wait to get this thing out, assemble it, and just do a whole bunch of videos on the channel here talking about it and sharing it with you guys, even if you guys have already seen multiple videos out there, but you guys haven't seen my take on it yet. So I'm going to get down to it. Okay, two more items that came in with the shipment were the Origins Wave 14 Squeeze and Spy Core. I've been waiting a really long time to get my hands on these guys. Now at this point, you know, the hobby store basically had to go through some channels to import these in. So these two particular figures cost a little bit more than they normally would have at retail. But I suppose that's a small price to pay because, you know, these figures are practically extinct out there. And I know they've been turning up at retail at places like Target and stuff like that in the US. I'm not really sure if they turned up anywhere else at retail, anywhere else in the world. Now, these figures are notable because not only are they some really awesome vintage styled villain figures with all new molds, but they're also part of the very last wave of Origins figures that were intended for retail, because after this, all of the stuff that's supposed to be based off the vintage style characters are going to be Mattel Creations exclusives. So this wave right here, these figures right here, are some of the last ever figures. All right. Now I know the wave also includes two more figures, the Snake Man Infiltrator and the Serpent Claw Man at Arms. But these two figures both look like lazy redecos. They don't look inspired at all. And, you know, I was looking at them. I just didn't feel like entering the Man-at-Arms multiverse. Okay, I felt like, you know, I didn't need this right now. So I basically didn't pick up these two figures unless maybe at some point in the future they're going to be on clearance or something. But yeah, the way to go with this particular wave are these two guys right here. Squeeze is utterly massive. All right, I'm surprised they actually found a way to just stuff him in that plastic bubble, or should I say, squeeze him in that bubble. Spycore is a real surprise here because I was looking at this thing and I was wondering, hey, what seems different? And then I realized, oh shit, it's an international card. Okay, the first time ever I'm getting my hands on an international card, all right? And these are basically the cards that don't have any additional descriptions or write-ups or dialogue in the comics, nothing like that, okay, due to some kind of international language laws. People have asked me before, how come Malaysia is not affected by it? I don't know, man. Malaysia is just not affected by it, okay? We don't have a law saying that, you can't have a package or a toy product that contains additional text or information or a comic book that's got dialogue in it. We don't have any kind of law against that. But apparently there's a lot of countries out there that do. And this is the first time I'm actually having one of these particular packages in my hands. And actually, what I really want to check out is the comic book inside that just contains pictures, no dialogue, just clean visuals. Right, guys, I can't wait to open up all of this stuff. Okay, get them all reviewed. Like I mentioned, thank you for watching this unbox video. Stay tuned to the channel, stick around for the reviews, and I'll catch you guys again real soon. Take care out there.